What's the most unforgivable thing a nurse ever did? My dad was in the hospital for 3 weeks after a heart attack. He was 67 and scared, but the doctors said he'd be fine if he followed their recovery plan. Dad was the type who never complained about anything, so when he started asking for help, I knew something was really wrong. There was this one nurse, Janet, who worked the night shift. She seemed nice enough during the day when family visited, but my dad kept mentioning weird things. He'd say she was rough when checking his blood pressure, or that she'd ignore his call button for hours when he needed to use the bathroom. I thought maybe he was just being dramatic because he hated hospitals. But then my sister Emma started noticing things too during her evening visits. Janet would roll her eyes when Dad asked questions about his medication, or she'd slam his water pitcher down hard enough to spill it. One Tuesday night, I decided to stay late. I told the staff I was just reading in the chair next to Dad's bed. Around 11 p.m., Janet came in for her routine check. She didn't know I was awake behind the curtain. What I heard made my blood boil. She was supposed to give Dad his heart medication, but instead of helping him sit up properly, she just shoved the pills in his mouth while he was lying flat. When he started coughing and choking, she got annoyed. "Swallow it already, you're not dying," she snapped. Dad was gasping, trying to clear his throat, and she just stood there checking her phone. When he finally managed to ask for water, she said, "You get 1 cup per shift. You already had yours." That was a complete lie. I'd been there since 6 p.m. and hadn't seen her bring him anything to drink. But the worst part came next. Dad's heart monitor started beeping because his stress levels were through the roof from choking. Instead of checking on him, Janet just reached over and turned off the alarm. She turned off a heart patient's monitor because it was annoying her. I waited until she left, then I immediately called the charge nurse. When she came to check on Dad, his lips were still blue from the choking episode. The charge nurse was horrified when I explained what happened. The next morning, I demanded to speak with the hospital administrator. I told them everything, including how Janet had been neglecting my dad for weeks. They said they'd investigate, but Janet kept working her regular shifts like nothing happened. That's when I got creative. Every night, I started staying past visiting hours. I'd hide in the bathroom or behind the curtain whenever Janet came around. I documented everything with my phone, the times she skipped checking on patients, when she was on social media instead of monitoring equipment, and how she talked to elderly patients like they were annoying children. After 5 nights of recording, I had enough evidence to end her career. I took everything to the state nursing board and the hospital's corporate office. I also posted some of the audio clips on the hospital's Facebook page with a detailed explanation of what my father endured. The response was immediate. Janet was fired within 48 hours, and the hospital offered to transfer Dad to a private room with their best cardiac nurses.